Hi everyone, welcome to my reading confessional for Miss Stroud's reading 3320 class. I'm just going to jump in to the books and texts and also writing that I've had over the years and what I'm currently reading and writing. So with no further ado, I'm going to jump right in. Okay, so something that I wanted to include in this reading confessional was a book series that I read as an elementary school student, since it's appropriate for, I guess, the class and just the time that we're in right now. And it was the Boxcar Children, the stickers covering it up. But the Boxcar Children series is something that I really enjoyed reading in elementary school. You would know from my timeline that I was not a big reader in elementary school, and I think this was the only series that I was really hooked on and that I thoroughly enjoyed reading. I was recommended to it by my third grade teacher, and she kind of just handed me the book. She was like, just try it out. You never know. And I ended up loving it, and I read almost every single book in the series. There are so many books in that series, I can't even tell you the amount. But it is The Boxcar Children by Gertrude Chandler Warner, and it's a great series. I would recommend it to any elementary school student who is struggling what to read because, it's just a great book to start them on. Alrighty, and then something that I also want to talk about was my favorite authors and topics, and that will kind of be explained in the next books that I'm going to be talking to y'all about. But my favorite authors and topics are C.S. Lewis and Bob Goff, and they are Christian writers, and they write about Christianity. And those are my favorite kind of books to read. I'm currently reading two Christian books right now. One is a devotional, and then one is just a regular Christian book that really just keeps me going. And I'm going to introduce my devotional book. It is called Beautiful Now by Stacey Aldridge, and I really love this book or this devotional because it kind of just it's made for women, and it kind of just gives you it's a gentle devotional that takes you deep into God's truth and really keeps you going. So if you are into if you're a Christian and you're looking for a new devotional series, I definitely recommend hers. And like I said, it's called Beautiful Now, and every single day it has a small verse with a little small reflection about what the author thought it was about, and it also has a prayer at the end, and then something that I can reflect on in my journal, which I'm going to introduce you to as well. But yes, this is a great devotional. I would definitely recommend it. And then going on to the book that I'm currently reading is by Marilyn Hickey, and it's called Enjoy Life, and it's moving past everyday struggles. And this is a book I really like because you don't have to read it all the way through all at once. You can just kind of pick it up whenever you're feeling like, oh, I need to read, or maybe you're feeling, I don't know, overwhelmed, struggling to find your purpose, or you're just you just don't know what to do in your life anymore. And I don't know, throughout college, I've been feeling that a lot. I don't know. I've been talking to a lot of people about it too, and they're like, oh yeah, I feel the same. So that's a little bit comforting. But this book actually is really great because it talks about, feelings of being overwhelmed and not knowing your purpose. And this author does a really good job of speaking God's truth into life and what God wants for you, for your life. And he ultimately wants you to enjoy it. And that just brings me a sense of comfort and enjoyment in reading this. And Marilyn Hickey has a lot of other Christian books, and those are some of the ones I'm going to look into after I'm finished with this one. I got this one in the beginning of August, and I'm about 3/4 of the way through, so I'm going to have to go get a new one soon. And then the next books that I'm planning on reading are actually called Everybody Always by Bob Goff. It's kind of like a sequel to his book that he wrote a few years ago called Love Does, and that's an amazing Christian book as well. And so yes, Everybody Always is on my list. And there's another book called Girl Wash Your Face by Rachel Hollis, and it is just about specific lies that this author heard in her head, and they were so not true. And I think that everybody has that voice in their head that says you can't do something, or you're feeling overwhelmed or unworthy of something. But in this book, she speaks God's truth into that you are a beautiful human, and that God has a bigger plan for you and what you are feeling. So I'm really looking into Girl Wash Your Face by Rachel Hollis. That is a great book that I've been recommended to many times. Okay, so next I'm going to actually jump into some of my writing journals and prompts and letters that I've received or used over the years. So I'm first going to show you my personal journal that I have, and I try to write in it every night. I actually had to get a brand new journal right at the end of summer because I just finished up one of my other journals, and I try to, like I said, I try to write in this every single night, and it's just a journal of my thoughts, feelings, and maybe, I don't know, some of it has grocery lists. And it's just like one of those journals that you can keep and you can use for whatever you need. I've loved journaling since I was, I don't know, in elementary school. Like, I just have loved expressing my feelings or expressing my thoughts on the form of journaling. And it's just carried on with me throughout my whole life. I'm a senior in college now, and I plan on journaling beyond college, and I don't know, I'm a big fan of journaling, and I love it, love it, love it. Something else I'm going to go into is, I mentioned in my timeline, was I loved doing writing prompts in elementary school, and it really helped me express my creativity, and it helped me relate my life through these prompts that were given to me in school. And I found this actually at TJ Maxx. It's called Writing Prompts, a journal to spark your creativity. And every day or every time you want to write in it, it gives you like a different writing prompt. And they're so random, but they're so great. For example, one of the prompts was, if you were locked inside your favorite store for a whole night, what would you do? And I could go on and on about my favorite store and what I would do in that store. Then another one is, write about a time someone talked you into doing something you didn't want to do. So they kind of get deep, as you can see, but they're all very random, and they all give you the opportunity to be creative in your writing. And then finally, I'm going to go into some of the things that I have, this thing that I've loved doing over the past years, and it's simply just writing and receiving letters. I have kept almost every single letter that has been written to me ever since I can remember. They are at my house back in San Antonio, but I also have the letters that have been written to me recently, and these are all the letters that I received from camp. Most of them are from my boyfriend when I was at camp and we didn't have any service, but it was also a great form of communication. And I don't know, I loved writing letters and receiving them because, like I said, I get all my thoughts and feelings out on paper, and some things that I can't get myself to say out loud, I can definitely get myself to say through writing. And I don't know, I just love, it gets me excited to read and write is through letters and communicating in that way. Finally, what's easy and hard for me as a reader and writer. What's easy for me as a reader is, now that I found a genre that I love to read about, it's easy for me to go find a book whether it's the library or the bookstore. And like I said, my favorite genre right now is just Christianity and those kind of books, just because it's very inspiring to me and I can relate it a lot to my life, and it kind of gives me that sense of peace. What's hard for me as a reader is to really get into a book that has been given to me to read. That's hard for me in elementary school as well. It's still hard for me now. And as for writing has always been pretty easy for me, except for research papers. That has always been a struggle for me. So that's pretty much my literate life through a reading confessional. I hope you enjoyed it, and have a great rest of your day. Bye!